I decided today that I wanted to try and attempt to make chocolate cheesecake bites. So I'm starting here with a graham cracker mixture that I put in my food processor. Did not grind it up as finely as I would have liked, but it was actually Teddy Grahams because that's all I had. So I added a little melted butter to it. I think I had about a cup of graham crackers, maybe a half a cup because I only made half the recipe, and a couple tablespoons of butter, and then I add sugar and cinnamon just to flavor the graham crackers a little bit more. And once you get them all pressed in there and flattened out on the bottom, I think I need to add a few more in this one. You're going to just press them down. You can use a spoon if you want. I just use my fingers. And you're going to set this mixture aside. I'm gathering my ingredients. This is about 6 ounces of the VO Life cream cheese. I did put it in the microwave to soften it just a little bit, maybe not even 20 seconds. I've got hot chocolate to flavor. This is a vegan hot chocolate that I got at my grocery store. A little bit of homemade Hershey syrup. It's done with cocoa, water, salt, and sugar. An egg and some vanilla and some raw sugar. I used the bone char free sugar that I typically use in most of my recipes. I wanted to use my hand mixer for this, but I have no idea where it is. So I went ahead and used my KitchenAid. I added my cream cheese in, and I'm going to beat that up on low speed for a minute or so. In a second, I'll add in my sugar, my hot chocolate, and my vanilla. We are a military family, and we move every 1 to 2 years. And even though we've been in this house for a little bit over a year, I still have no idea where my hand mixer is or if I even ever unpacked it. So I usually use my KitchenAid, but I will have to dig out my hand mixer for recipes so you guys can see what it is I'm doing. I'm adding the rest of the ingredients and stopping it to scrape down the bowl every time that I add something. The only thing I'm not adding at this point is the Hershey syrup because that is going to go in later. You'll see. And I also ended up adding a second egg because I just was afraid it wouldn't thicken up enough. These little cheesecakes almost tasted more like a brownie cheesecake than they did a true cheesecake or a true brownie. They were kind of in the middle. I mix this on high for about 5 minutes and then I go ahead and take it off. I check the texture, scrape down the bowl one more time, mix it up a little bit more, and then it's ready to go into your cupcakes. I'm using 1/4 of a cup here, but it wasn't quite 1/4 in each one. It was a little bit less. And I'm just going to go ahead and pour that in each of the cupcake liners. These ended up being pretty good, and they definitely gave me that chocolate that I've been craving lately. The next step is optional, but this is my Hershey syrup, and I just do a little spoonful into each one and then use a skewer to go ahead and swirl it into it. It just adds a little more chocolate. If I would have had any left, I probably would have added some of my Newman's brand chocolate cookies. They taste very similar to Oreos. I really like the mint one, and those would make a really good base instead of the graham crackers. Once these are all mixed up, you can go ahead and pop them into a 325-degree oven. So I have to tell you guys what I did. I popped these in the oven, and I pulled them out at about 15 minutes, and they were still pretty jiggly. So I stuck them back in, and I set my alarm, but I wasn't in the room, and I didn't hear it go off, and I forgot about them. And they ended up baking for like 45 minutes. But they actually were fine. They might have been overcooked. I don't know. Because like I said, they were more like a brownie. So they were fine at 45 minutes. So I don't know. They definitely needed more than the 15 that a normal mini cheesecake would do. So here I am cutting it up. You can kind of see it sticks to the paper. But it has a really good flavor. So I know they aren't the prettiest. I probably wouldn't make them for a party or anything. But if you're craving a little bit of chocolate, they definitely hit the spot. You can kind of see they look like a gooey brownie. So I hope you guys enjoy.